As I sit in my first period class, bored out of my mind, pretending to read Macbeth, I start to think of my classmates and how much I know about them. Samora usually gets here before me. His mom usually drops him off at around 7 a.m. On off days, he's late. There aren't a lot of off days. He would be the product of a fatherless childhood, but he has a stepdad to fill the void. He used to be hood, as he so often reminds me, but now he's changed to become more bed. He's a poet who doesn't want to delve farther than the surface. He finds his sanctuary in music, the only thing he feels he can relate to, Aaliyah. I've gone to school with her since the 6th grade, and I've never seen her as unhappy as she is when she doesn't have a boyfriend. She seems broken. I'm not sure why, but the cheery 6th grader she once was can only be caught in glimpses. I feel an obligation to fix her. I'm not sure how. Asia comes from a deprived background. I've never seen her father. I'm not sure she has either. I think that's the reason her clothes are always so small and tight, constricting any amount of grief or longing she might have felt for him. She always talks about her weekend sexapades. I'd like to tell her that nobody cares, and that she doesn't have to open her legs to any nigga with money and a car that good things come to those who pay. She wouldn't listen to me. Daniel spent his childhood running from Richmond bullets. Another fatherless child, Daniel is a thug. He brags about snatching unsuspecting iPhones and wallets. He rocks a long gold chain, 2 diamond earrings, and a grill with every outfit. He is a genius who only cares about money. He wrestles with insecurities about his skin color. It is the deepest black, but for some reason, most seem to see it as an impurity. So he makes up with it with his Macho Man gangster act. Whatever. Doesn't stir me. Duma is a motherless child who hides his heart from his sleeve. I think that's the reason he's always looking for love in the worst places. I think he hates himself. He is brother who wants to be nigga, so we as people call him Devon. His father is Muslim, but he rocks a rosaries and Jesus on his chest. I don't think he's seen God in himself yet, which must be why he's so religiously confused. Richard comes to school every morning with a sleepy smile and a bowl of ramen noodles. I think he's fatherless as well. He has top ramen for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He is third world and first, yet none of that seems to bother him. He always has an air of happiness that surrounds him. He is beautiful and he knows it. Jonathan comes to class once a month or whenever we have a sub. He shoots dice in the back of the classroom with Duma and Daniel. When I ask them why, they tell me money is everything. It seems that they are products of a broken society and a broken home. My home is not broken. My parents aren't together, but they get along. Death hasn't come too close, and violence hasn't found me vulnerable. And then it clicked. My classmates and I are different. In the words of Dr. King, our elbows are together, yet our hearts are apart. We are supposed to learn together, but how can we do that if we don't know each other and realize that our past is what makes us who we are today? We are not the same people, so we shouldn't be taught like we are. So when Newt Gingrich and all the other useless GOP candidates tell us that it's completely our fault if we fail, and that we have just as much chance to succeed as a 1% white boy, we know that's bullshit, because some of us carry baggage too large for our frames, and this classroom seems like a prison that's keeping the world from behind me, that's keeping me blind from the world around me. This classroom is what keeps the minds of people like me and people like Daniel apart. This classroom is what chaos looks like. A group of 25 students in a classroom together learning separately is not what education should be. Was that we would all be able to learn together, but this is not, even though this is not segregation of the body, this is segregation of the heart, mind, and spirit. We have become as broken as our homes because of an education that keeps us ignorant. We are fatherless and motherless and struggling and poor, but I'm not asking for some all-holy savior to come and coddle us into equality. No, I'm asking for you to understand that we are not the same people, and that if we have to learn with each other, we should also learn about each other to understand if chaos is what we are taught, because this is obviously not working. And since people keep telling us to push down barriers that are in our way, then I'll tell them to get the fuck out of our way so we can grow.